Great, so we're here with Sam from Karfu. Sam, tell us about your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So Karfu is a new type of comparison website. So you've heard of Money Supermarket, you've heard the market. We are a comparison website for mobility. Okay, and one of the challenges about using that word mobility is in the consumer world, no one really knows what it means. So we believe we're doing mobility comparison, but at the moment we talk about vehicle comparison, just from a consumer audience. So what that means is people come to our website and they tell us about their mobility needs. So we ask questions around how they're getting around at the moment, what kind of journeys they're doing, how far they're going. So we get a real understanding of what they're doing and how they're getting around. We ask questions about money and about budgets and about what they're spending. And we also ask some questions around preferences around vehicles. So would you ever get on a motorbike? Do you have a license for a car? So we can get a real picture of their mobility needs. And then what we've been doing is we've built this great big database of all kinds of different vehicles. Everything from cars at one end to electric skateboards at the other, and everything in between. So vans, pickup trucks, motorcycles, mopeds, bicycles, you name it. And we're agnostic to the fuel type, so whether that's EV or hydrogen or hybrid or just pure pedal power, we don't mind. And then we've been working with a load of different providers of those vehicles. So that might be a car dealer, it could be a bike shop, it could be a leasing provider, a subscription provider, a sharing provider. So we take all of that information about people, all of these different vehicles, all these different providers, and what we then do is we provide recommendations on what they should do. And the difference about those recommendations are they're based on total cost of use. Okay? So that's total cost of use financially and total cost of use environmentally. So we're a mobility comparison platform that uses total cost of use to make recommendations about all kinds of vehicles and all ways you can access them.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, sounds amazing. It sounds like a real gap in the market. I mean, things are getting more complex, I guess, with both changing fuel type and also emerging access models, subscription and sharing, and those types of modes as well. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's what we found when we started talking to consumers. We found the things we found were two things. One was there's this explosion of choice, and obviously that's something you guys are doing a really good job around. There was more choice, but what they were struggling with was, one, they didn't know about some of that choice, but two, what they're really struggling with is how to compare it. So they can understand a subscription. And subscriptions are brilliant, right? They're really simple. You can see what's bundled in, and that's great. What the challenge has been is sometimes when they look at the number, let's say it's £800 a month, they're used to paying £200 a month for a PCP deal. Or maybe not in this current environment. No. But what they then try and work out is about the gap between those two numbers, and actually how does that work? And that's where kind of we feel that we come in as a kind of impartial service to help people actually understand that total cost of what it looks like. So we look at over 20 different running costs, and those running costs depend on the different providers that we're working with. So with a subscription provider, we'll include less of them. With a car dealer that's doing something on a PCP, we include more of them where we do the calculations. And it's all about, for us, it's more about levelling the playing field between different modes to actually show people, and different access times to really show them that they've maybe got more choice than they thought, and to also bring to life some new things maybe they've not heard of. And car subscription is a great example of that. Not a lot of people have heard of it relative to leasing or finance, but actually it's a great option for lots of people, and it's more about bringing that to life in comparison to those other options so people can really make an informed choice.
Yeah, awesome. And tell us whereabouts you guys are on your journey. So you're building the product out, you're getting ready for launch, I understand. So what's the process timelines that you're working with?
So we just closed a funding round, just on CrowdQ. The money came into the bank this week, so that was very nice. So it was nice to come here with that also behind us. Yeah. And so now we've already got a list of launch partners. So working with those launch partners now, we're now heading towards launch. Launch will be this year. We're aiming for sort of late summer, but one of the things that's fascinating about what we're doing is we're merging all kinds of different data sets. We've got data sets from suppliers around vehicles, we've got integrations with different partners, and we've got all these running cost calculations. And so what we've been doing at the moment is we're still going through all of those calculations, making sure they're absolutely watertight before we launch the new site. So there'll be a beta version of it out, a new beta version. We've already had a beta version, there's a second beta version of the new site where people can test and have a play. And so optimistically, we'll go live sort of end of September. It really depends. And I think one of the interesting challenges from a process side is we work with the FCA, we need to be compliant, and also total cost of use is a new number. The people see it and they don't understand it, they don't know what it includes, so we have to do quite a bit of education to help people understand that. So optimistic, late September we'll be done.
Awesome, sounds great. And just finally to wrap up, what have you made of Move? So coming right to the end of the session on the last day, what's been your making, what things you've learned?
So I would say, this is our second year at Move, second time exhibiting. I think the things that really stood out for me this second year is busier. There's a lot of people here, and I think it's not just number of stands. Particularly the startup studio and the startup space it feels like it's double the size, but also it's twice as busy. There's more people attending. There's more people asking us questions. My team are absolutely exhausted. They're completely run off their feet. But I also think even things like all of the different stages and theatres. What's fascinating about that is they're much busier. I hosted one last year, the dealerships and the e-commerce one, and we were lucky if we were averaging 10 people a show. And actually, what's been fascinating is this one is ramped. Every single one I've been to, every talk has been incredibly busy. So I think it's a real credit to the Move team, and actually probably where the industry's going. That it's obviously a busy space at the moment. So yeah, no, I'm really impressed with Move. I think they do a great job every year. So yeah, we're really happy to attend it.
Awesome. Okay, great. Sam, thanks very much. Really appreciate it, and say enjoy the rest of the show. It's an hour left, but yeah.
We'll enjoy eking our way through to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Thanks very much.
Cheers.